Are there any transfers?
No.
Right, like a motion to audit the bills, please. Motion by Nicole, second by
That.
second by Pat. Discussion on favor? Aye. Roll then.
Roll. Joanne, I saw Jeremy today at work.
Oh, yeah.
We had like 5 cars lined up on the side of the road. I didn't know what was going on.
There was an accident that he was dealing with.
It must have been, but he's running back and forth.
Oh, man.
I had to
He
go,
said it.
had to go get my new enhanced license.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
She's got a passport.
You got your passport now?
Goes flying out Monday.
No.
I've been waking up every night panicked that I'm missing something.
Big store for him.
Oh,
I'm leaving Wednesday, so better.
You are?
Yes,
Where you going?
Florida.
Where?
My parents, Melbourne Beach.
You know, the school break.
Yeah.
And I'll just take it off for the week.
That's why Jones, because we gotta time Jones for this. It's a studio for the break.
What? I wonder where someplace more.
Yeah, but I'm like reaching out to like hotels. The room's there, right? Room's reserved. And I am.
Is it
I
on
missed
HC
anything
Bio?
else.
No.
I won't do that.
As long as you get there, who cares?
Yeah. Right.
You know, well, so
Is Sukasa open? Yes.
what part of Florida? You call
Melbourne. It's like the Diego.
East Coast.
Yes, and they're on the beach, so
They are.
they know walk.
That call.
Yeah, that's.
Hey, Black, how you doing, buddy? How we doing? All right, man.
Sorry.
How long are you there for?
You're all right.
Now it's all making sense. Everybody at the Y was talking.
Luckily, the lights are working, so people can park on the street, and we're able to see, get to their cars.
Where you calling?
My computer said it was connected.
No. I'm fine. We do this. Just switch on the DJ. You might got that time. It just bounced.
I'll say like stops. Are they still on Main Street?
Redmond,
When did they move?
that was Saturday. That's
Oh.
Saturday, so for a week.
Just a week?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that? No. That's.
Yeah.
They don't have natural gas.
Oh, yeah, yes. It is.
It does?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, not that. Well,
Oh, you get to live. Okay,
that's not on the line.
yeah.
For reasons.
The school?
Start over.
What happened?
Start over.
All of us missed it.
Oh, step 2, got it.
Usually
That's
first
fine.
time it's ever happened.
Usually doesn't get through all 4.
First time it's ever happened. Just saying.
Yeah.
We all had the opportunity to catch
Usually,
it.
No.
It never happened with
No.
Mummy started.
Oh.
Never mind.
Did we have paper copy of this? I will email it to you.
Okay.
Good job getting the fire break.
I will email.
Yes, thank you.
They have their backs to us, my daughter thinks it. We've been so.
Mailbox, is this
But
like?
yes,
No,
well,
that's
I've had a lot of good times, so.
This,
I need to go back to.
Joanna, mailbox replacements?
Yeah, when they hit the mailbox, we replaced them.
Yeah. I mean,
It happens quite often.
I'm surprised it didn't happen in the hour and a half I was ready, like. to
There's
me.
nobody on.
He was as good as he was.
Yeah, that's right.
There's something really cool.
How many in a winter?
Well,
They look, there's a pile.
Oh, it's always,
Three to four at least, Reed.
That.
Here, but it's not by the plow, it's by the heavy snow. Sometimes it would just, I basically designed mine to break away. That way I don't have to
Mhm.
put it in loosely. You're surprising. That second inch thing was just so light. Yeah, interesting. They got rid of a lot of the forward. Terry's out there. Come up this past weekend. Yeah. And easy. Just right across the road. And yes. We do it back up in Connecticut. Two of the highway guys, they went out to, keep it, a couple of feet out there.
how many mailboxes this year?
Mohegan Sun, wherever that is, there was about 6 or 7 inches on the ground, we left at 11 in the morning. I was like, we're getting right here now.
We track it by driver. See what's up.
Matt Stan might, I don't know. I just forward the.
Who's got the high school?
I say, this voicemail is for you, and I give it to him and he takes care of it.
You just give it a summary. I highlighted off that. I thought that you were still doing taxes.
Yeah. That's never good enough.
You want me to give the highlight?
Yes, please. My highlights. Here, there's the simple. Messed it up.
Oxygen gas, that's it.
What? For
Oxygen-
welding.
I know, but oxygen gas,
Oh, yeah.
kind of like an ATM machine. Yeah, it's not open yet.
For bad caliber.
I want to test that system. I want to test the system with the vehicle.
Yeah.
And then tagging it with that too.
Yeah.
Do it.
I emailed them to you. Yeah, I sent you an email with a bunch of stuff for the meeting. Yeah, that's right. I sent you both of the bands and love it, all this stuff. I didn't send you this, but I will.
I need to find it.
Oh.
Final, yeah, he's right, yeah.
No, they're trustworthy.
Where?
Maybe they were. It was 10 or 77, I think they plowed it, it just was slush.
Way down.
Mm,
Under 49.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll do it, I did the payroll today,
Something like spelling it.
Yeah, I felt sad for the boys.
so. Oh, this is January, was like this.
Like 12 outside.
Read it by the.
You're right, that-
E in there, yeah.
How about
There's
for-
one up on that car now.
Yeah, and if you
Another one.
want to.
Okay,
Thank you. Which window? At the fire. And so they'll leave you calls.
Need to teach the okay.
Right?
I wasn't there, but I think January. For fire.
What is this called? You're holding snacks.
He says.
Wood stoves. Wood stoves. That would be higher than space. The single tires, so. What helpful items those people get to work from around they know that work,
No.
you know? No, you know,
That's why
that's what Mrs. Mundy said, but no,
the household, I know,
remote control.
I was gonna say my kids.
Yeah.
You guys at the table said that, but maybe you said that.
I don't think that, I don't shake the remote trying to get it to work. Must be an old person thing.
Oh, I definitely smacked the bed, we're the better.
It's a roll of the battery.
Yeah.
I roll, like it's gonna be.
I'll take them out and flip the
Walk up to the closet and get batteries and put the new batteries in.
It's too much work.
No, but also like may still be juiced up.
God forbid we waste our
I get
batteries.
one more click out of this thing, I roll. So. Yeah, yeah.
Fine.
Just cipher that. I've read it.
The meeting minutes was 12:30:25. The meeting minute.
Yeah.
I think what we.
All right, I'd like a motion to authorize payment, please.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Pat, second by
I'll second.
Reed, on any discussion? In favor? Aye.
Hi.
Thank you. Motion
Are
passed.
we awake?
All right, there's there was an addition, there are approval minutes, the date wasn't down there. 30 December of 25. I'll give you a moment to read those. Your end meeting. Everyone was there, even if they weren't at the show. What did the teacher say? Eyes up and you're done.
Yeah. Thumbs up.
There's one typo of about the parks. There's
On what page?
a HRPL, there's an extra L or something in there.
The extra.
It's on page 2.
Thank you.
Wow.
With that change, anybody now get a motion to approve the,
I'll make a motion to approve
Second.
Comments?
Oh,
second by Tom. That one more.
That too.
oh my goodness, Tom.
Do you?
don't want
Well, usually we try to get them beforehand, but Deb just got them
You go
done
ahead.
last week.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, what's the? Comments, okay.
So that is when you bring a library.
You know what's funny? Is my computer is so questionable now that I changed pavilions and it just does what it wants. It changes everything.
Any other discussion?
Yeah.
No,
Okay, all in favor?
I,
Correspondence, there should be 3 of them in your packet. One was a constituent who's unhappy with her neighbor always burning his leaves and stuff and she thought that we should, talk about a burn code.
Don't we follow the county's burn code?
Well, we've burned bans, but I don't think we have anything in there about,
Where's it at?
Fairly thorough.
there's one, there's a letter in script. No, yes,
Yes.
Yeah. Still out. I don't know, I'd refer to the Middle Falls Fire Chief.
but you know, she wants us, evidently she had talked to the chief and she got no, didn't hear what she wanted to hear, so she approached me, so, and this is her letter, so, we'll take that into further consideration, and, but I just thought you should also know, there's a letter from Dorothea Casey from the Daughters of the American Revolution. They're going to recognize Mrs. Gail Dewey on Saturday, March 7th, 2026 at 10 a.m. The Cynthia Meadows Community Room. Mrs. Dewey is being recognized for her service to the Greenwich area citizens, the Greenwich Interfaith Fellowship Van Gogh Program, and the Greenwich Alumni Association. So, congratulations, Mrs. Dewey. Don Ward, Commander Ward from the VFW came by, looking to invite us to a couple events. Memorial Day services is May 22nd, 2026. The Post is extending an invitation to the town board to attend the Memorial Day services, the following community event. They'll have a first responder event later in the year in coordination with the Greenwich Fire Department. And we've all signed the checks for the town's donations to the veterans in Memorial Day and First Responder Day this evening. That's correspondence. Committee reports. Ms. Messina.
As you will see from the numbers in this report, we have received all of the taxes and all of those have been deposited and put where they're supposed to be. That's it. So have not spent a lot of money so far, so that's always good.
There.
Codification. Court report. Anything to add to that?
I have nothing about.
Don't think about that.
I just got the letter today, of the $7,000 ish in fines. We're gonna get 2,700 back, so it all doesn't go to the state, so that was good. Most, but not all. There was no historian report. Highway, Stan is allegedly dealing with some stuff blowing out of the sky.
Yes, so I can just go over his hands real quick. You have it?
Yeah. Stan said he started our winter inspections on Finley Screener Stacker at the pit. We'll need new bearings and a couple of belts. We are working with the town of Kingsbury on doing some fabrication and updates to their shoulder machine that we use to do shouldering back up after spring paving. We've been busy cutting wood for the town barn boiler, major repairs, G8 and walking beam bushings. And I have contacted our insurance company for a few things, the major ones being we have 2 plows that are splitting in half. For some reason, the insurance won't cover, and we'll be looking to repair both ourselves. I'm hoping we can talk about the plows themselves.
I did, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we could also certainly do Vikings. Yeah, concerns, he's really good.
Real good.
Really, yeah, so that may be worth at least a conversation as well. I had a chance to stand before this month, planning before next month with some of these. The town did purchase the tablet and we're gonna switch them over to, they do these paper logs now that I think are of the bane of Joanna's week, maybe. So we're gonna switch them to digital. We did get the tablet in. Joanna's already been installing and setting it up. We've got to get the right clocking software, but she put Helix on, so I'm off next week, but after that, I plan to start meeting with Joe. And I think by then we could do the clocking thing and start to use Helix to record just so we see these repairs come through and then they're kind of lost to us. How much we did on each vehicle and when, and I just starting to try to get better record of that. So we did make progress in getting the equipment. We just need to then work with the highway guys.
When you say clock, you talk about payroll.
Time clock.
Yes,
I mean, I knew,
yeah,
I knew.
yes, time clocking. They use like those old school, you know, factory cards that
They, right.
you probably see them
Sometimes.
like, you know. a
It's
sketch
actually get
shop.
better when they write. Usually if they do it in the wrong spot, they just do it over under, like underneath, and I have no idea when they clocked in or clocked out, so.
That is, yeah,
Good question for the highway.
stands reiterated, yeah, you know, as we're looking into the next year and upcoming, a vehicle for the crew remains at the top of his priority list as well.
Okay, good. I got that right in my report. Moving on, planning, zoning and code enforcement, Donahue and Graves. Guys, what do you have in all those reports?
Before, the planning, board minutes were online. I saw you met with them and, the mayor.
Yep, we thank them for their service and
Yeah.
the new joint board going forward and that.
Was that your first meeting going together?
That was first meeting, yes.
Cool.
So
Cool.
they did some training that was well attended and I think there was only one person on Zoom, so everybody else was here and the presenters were Nora Bell and Jamie Konkowski from Labella. Whatever, so. Zach, you have any feedback on that training?
No, I think it was good. It was pretty depth and I don't see an issue moving forward. I mean, they laid out everything very well.
I looked at one.
You know, so you're not gonna be digging through things that the village did and that it's all laid out very well.
All right, thank you.
And then, we got code enforcement. We got Andrew's report here. Also. I don't have anything else to add to it. Yep.
Okay, public safety, Anderson and Carter.
The animal report, Andrew, I didn't see too much to do there. An email came in today on the use of a ban. I'm not familiar with these. Did you have more on that?
The town of Kingsbury has a van they use for animal control. And they're willing to,
But Tom and I got the letter. You sent a letter to Tom and I on that.
but I said it wrong,
Go to there, right? Yeah.
wrong people,
All
sorry.
right, that's why it's so confusing.
My apologies.
Look at our emails.
My-
Hey, we were going for it.
Yeah, we both read it collectively like 5 times. I have no idea.
Anyway, so and we'll talk about that a little bit more under new business.
Okay. But no, I have no other
Yeah.
changes in news.
All new year, the seniors report, I guess I didn't forward it. Bar Price is working on getting a grant for this. She has a couple donors lined up. Also, if the grant doesn't come through for matching, so she's trying to get the services, you know, a community, she calls it a community center without walls, you know, to present the opportunities for our seniors, you know, for healthcare and information on everything. So I've offered her an office here in the town that we have a couple of extra rooms upstairs. So she's gonna be taking advantage of that. She gives a caregiver in the support, and that's been ongoing. And the next one of those is coming up soon. I'll get that on the website. It's over in the Fort Miller Community Room in the library. So we'll keep you informed as we go forward with that. This, Deb.
I did a rundown of the taxes that we have so far collected and what the difference is. I put a difference between the 2026 and the 2025 taxes. I put down what the county has raised the taxes and what the town did. I also collected $514,820.69 to be collected, sorry, this year. I collected $1,842.50 more this year than we did last year at this time. And we still have to collect $991,059.84, which of course has gone down because we've been collecting a couple days since then. But the difference between what we had collect from this point last year to this year, we have to collect an extra $89,970.13 more going forward. And then the next page is what bills were paid and what we earned. The local share was $1,088.56. To New York State Ag and Market Spay Neuter was $109. For decals, New York State Environmental Conservation is $399.44 and $110 for the village register.
Question for Deb.
Good job.
Thank you.
We had collected.
Yes.
It was an amazing operation to not be part of.
Is there just sums that go in when like at bank escrows release?
There is, we've probably done two major. One major one we get is Loretta, and that's usually probably about $1.1 million that we get one month. We've got a couple of minor ones. There's one for 63,000, and then the rest are like 12,000, but not that high. But the rest are over the top. We've collected through person to person. We collected over 400 or over. It was 3.7 million we collected from person to person.
People coming in.
Yeah,
Or mail.
yeah, and mail, sorry. Over the counter, I just consider it mail and collecting person.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Utes and parks.
Parks, I do have a lot. We did meet and discuss on the Hudson Riverside Park, but I think we're gonna leave that for new business.
Okay.
And on the use, Joanna kind of got the ball rolling there. It was just be Nicole's first year on the town, setting a first meeting with our directors. Sounds like we have Isaac. Do we know we have Emma? So we have one director.
She hasn't answered, but.
She never- Yeah, gave any indication. Everybody, so we need to confirm we have a second director, and we're looking at setting our 2026 initial meeting for the beginning of March, which will be before our next meeting, so we should have a firm update on the director situation.
All right, sounds good. And the youth center president, Emily Crawford, has asked to be part of the initial planning,
Okay.
Coordinate.
Yeah.
Send her-
coordinate with her.
We haven't
and-
figured out a date yet, but I'll send her
Okay.
the dates that we have.
Or flag.
Questions for the youth and parks that we can't get to later. All right, get comfy. It's time for your state of the town. Have a PowerPoint presentation, and I'm gonna go back so I can see it and talk to you guys. So my duty and pleasure to present the state of the town. What we're gonna cover tonight is we'll talk about what happened last year, do some report on town finances and services, and going forward, what we're looking to do in this year. So last year, a couple of key things I came up with: investing in our infrastructure, fiscal stability, and keeping our community programs going. Make some highlights about the roads we've dealt with, highway equipment, town hall, and Hudson Riverside Park. As far as infrastructure and public works, we applied binder to sections of Ray Road, Manhattan Road, paved north. I'm saying that's incorrect. That should be gone. That was the year prior. Paved Fiddler's Elbow and Hartshorn Road. And you see, this is the new boom mower that we've purchased. That's allowed one person to do a whole bunch of roadside maintenance with brush clearing, and then the superintendent uses it instead of 4 guys going down the road with chainsaws. And we're doing stuff measured in hours versus days now with that. So that's been a very good return on our investment. The waterline extension study is complete. We did establish a water district. Our initial funding request has been denied. LaBelle and I met yesterday with the Environmental Facilities Corporation, who is the people that administer the water improvement grants. We got a lot of good feedback on them, how we can improve our application. And so we're gonna try again, and I'm pretty confident that we should be able to get the funding at some time down the road. For town hall, got some heat pumps. You'll see them all around the outside of the building, and you'll see inside the building, units like that, and all the places, and even one down in the basement. As an aside, we got them all in on a Thursday, except for one. And the next day, the oil burner died. So it is now decommissioned, and the timing was perfect. So with all that bigger drain or draw, what's the word, Zach? Load required, we got our new backup generator. So that takes care of the increased need of the heat pumps. I had a nice donation from Current Compliance with some new furniture for the office. And had a bunch of painting done by Alternative Sensing. I know everybody's gonna miss the pink stairway. I know I do, because it's just kind of blah looking like that. But seriously, 152 hours are spent painting that all the way upstairs, supervisor's office and the kitchen. If we had to pay prevailing wage for that, which I found out is $33.50 for painters, that's like $5,100 of savings we got to use an alternative sensing. Someplace we've had years of planning has finally come to fruition and completion down at the Hudson Riverside Park. Demolished the barn, and once that debris was cleared away, we're able to revamp a pad that the pavilion's going to go on. And we had Fort Miller Group come their anvil fence from part of the Fort Miller Group, install that fence for us around the Hudson River, because that's a pretty big steep there where the slope we're concerned about. People have always complained I can't find the park. I don't know where it is. I'm sorry, Miss Paving got the parking lot paved, and then we had a sign put up on the road. And there are, in fact, bald eagles down there that you can enjoy in the future with other stuff. Pavilion was it got up almost before the first snow flew. You can see that there's a little bit of snow still under it, but it's finally done. All the lights are on and installed, and we're ready to go forward and get some picnic tables and stuff for that for this coming year. And I have to acknowledge a gift from the Fort Miller Foundation. They were able to give us a good size donation to help us get across the finish line with the construction. And we also had a nice donation to put this mural up inside the community room. It's on the north of the inside wall. And
It's a lot bigger than that.
it's a lot bigger than that. And our local artist, Rachel Truax, did that for us. And on the painting, I missed talking about, again, alternative sentencing was down there. We got to find the hours. Between power washing outside and staining the outside and painting the inside walls and floor, they put 554 hours of labor on it. So that's like 18 grand we would have to pay for that. So, and people ask, I like parks, but should we have spent all that money? So that's what we spent, with $620,000 from the beginning. That's the purchase. And on the other side is how we paid for it. We didn't increase taxes for anybody. We had funds from ARPA that there was kind of limited ways we could utilize those funds, and the board decided to utilize the funds for that. The donation we talked about from Fort Miller Foundation. There was a reserve account, and that was actually part of the payback from the DASNY grant. We can spend some time talking about grants and stuff like that, but and then we did spend $6,700 did come out of surplus funds we had in our accounts. So there wasn't any increase to our taxpayers to fund this park, and it's a valuable addition to our community. Because we have been able to manage good fiscal management. The tax cap was 2.7%. We came out like 2.67. And when all the employees had cost of living allowances. And the bottom line, again, for just taxes for the town, a village taxpayer, you can see they went down 4 cents per 100,000 from 25 to 26. And town taxpayer went down 15 cents per 100,000. So in one of the few financial graphs you'll see from 22 to 26, downward trend, you know, which hasn't happened a lot. That's again, that's our portion of the town, you know, we influence what we can, you know, and I think we're doing a good job with that. We received 2 notable grants. The Canalway grant we'll use for down at the park for playground equipment. But the big one is huge in our world here, 682,500, and we'll be using that for residents, low-income residents, to help renovate their houses, you know, fix up things. And Flatley Reed will be helping us administer that. We'll get some information out to people here in the coming few months. And we touched on the joint boards. That's a great efficiency. You know, we're able to draw from the dwindling pool of volunteers, you know, town-wide now, for getting the 7 people on each of those boards. And now, instead of the town shouldering the cost for planning board and the zoning board of appeals, we're splitting those costs with the village. Community programs or summer youth program. This year, we have allocated $61,000 towards that. That'll provide a 5-week program for our youth, and for up to 125 of them. And in some way or another, we're involved with those parades there. The Memorial Day Parade, Halloween Parade has pretty much been run by the Greenwich Youth Center, but they do use our parking lot, and we help them out as we can. Tractor Parade has evolved into a town-wide event, starting, you know, down there by Capital Tractor and down here in Argyle, and it's a great booth for our community. The Memorial Everlasting Lights we've taken over doing that, and thanks to Joanne and the Highway Department for doing that for us. I think it was kind of quiet, but Fort Miller has moved a bunch of people into the old Essity plant there in Clark's Mills. And, you know, gives them some room for expansion. And as they've been growing, and it's nice to have them, you know, in town. And they had enough room in there is Morecon, which stands for Morris Converting. They came out of White Creek. They're a paper manufacturing and distribution people. They usually sell to like restaurants and like, if you're paper towels and napkins and all that stuff. But they have 100+ employees, and you know, now they're working at a Greenwich, so that's nice there. We put up a tax, and everybody, when I talk about Eddy Street development, it's not in the town per se, it's in the village. It's on the eastern side, but as you go out of town, and that's County Route 74 in the red, this parcel here, that 58 acres is going to be a 55+ housing community. So they're going to put several different structures up there for 55+. And where I think this helps the town is because older people want to stay in town, but they don't need their big family houses. So I think as they move up there, they'll leave their family type houses, you know, on the market. And that's what we need, because people want to buy, and there hasn't been a supply of houses on the market. So looking at very early stages, but it is something exciting coming down the road for us.
That has water access?
No, actually it does. There's a little parcel on the other side that'll be connected, and they're going to put a park or something over there. But that's right.
Municipal water.
Oh, you didn't know, not municipal. Oh, yes, there will, because it goes up it goes up.
Yeah, right. I think that they would,
Yeah,
my
'cause
guess is they would want it to.
in the water plants.
Right down the
Yeah.
road, but I didn't know that they had.
I mean, they may have to run it to that plot, but
Yeah,
it's
and
not
they have-
far.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about they have a little place that.
I was just thinking
back.
about water supply if they're doing the town
Yeah.
district too, thinking about that, yeah. Because that's a big, you know, for buildings like that.
Next, please. So ops and technology improvements. We're working with National Business Solutions there at Albany. We're gonna move to the .gov world that's required, beefing up our cybersecurity. And I know Deb is excited to get a new computer and, yes, as I told the people at National, you know, her computer freezes a lot and it takes longer to thaw. So she's anxious to move on. And she's also digitizing records, preserving our, you know, past, slowly but surely. And I think she'll move a little quicker now that tax season is coming up. And we're using Human Intel, that software program that we have for the highway. We're using it more than just inventory. We're using it to schedule events. We're logging all the facilities in town, what needs to be required, you know, different things that need to take place. And give us some timelines and reminders about that. Couldn't do this all without you guys. Thank you very much. The staff, the employees, doing a wonderful job. And then there's the people we don't often talk about, you know, the people, I picked a couple people out. I'm glad one of them is here. Zach, thank you for your work in renewable energies and volunteering on the planning board. We talked about Barbara Price, her caregiver support. Excuse me, Battenville Conservancies. They're going to partner with us on the Battenville Riverside Park. And the Greenwich Gardeners. I mean, Deb Anderson has, you know, re-energized this group. I mean, Lisa Perkins is one of those people who's been working with the gardeners for 15 years or so, taking care of the roundabout, you know, I want to get her name out there. But that group is like almost 40 people now, and they're working for our town. And what I didn't get to put on the slide, I just found out, somebody called me. We have a Greenwich Central School bus driver by the name of Stacy, who was going down County Route 49 the other morning when that house was on fire, and grabbed those people, you know, that were ran into their house, it was on fire, loaded them on the bus and brought them over to the firehouse. So that's what we appreciate, people like Stacy, you know, and thinking about, you know, taking care of people first. So, and these people, you know, I can't say enough about them. They've been busy. You know, Joe, Mike, John, Johnny, Hunter, Bradley, and Stan. You know, they've had a busy season and they've done a great job on the roads. And I missed the slide when I noticed, can't say enough about our fire department. That's another group of people that have gone from one fire to the next. I mean, they're probably down in Cambridge right now. There's a structure fire down there. So. And crazy. Yeah. And that just gets us to here. So what do we got coming in 26? Deb has learned some stuff about tax receipts at 74 cents a pop to mail a receipt. And that doesn't count ink and envelopes and time. So we're going to work on trying to get some changes on our county and state requirements. The county ones are probably easier to do than the state ones, but we got to do something. You know, it's the 21st century and we don't need to be, you know, killing trees on a daily basis. Reed already touched on the iPad for payroll and ordering supplies. That'll help with, you know, our finances too. We can just come direct bill and stuff like that. And we're, you know, the town clerk's office, I've always, and Deb's been always asking about this, about trying to secure her area more, because there was a lot of vital records on in there, and just building security in general. Going forward, and I call this grant funded because what really happens is based on our CHIPS funding, the highway improvement funds. So things that, you know, the North Road and Spray County Road, you know, Top Coat, Gray and Mahaffey that had some binder on last year need to get paved. How much culvert work can we do? You know, we're got Rabbit, Kilburn, and Ferguson. And of course, the continued road rush, brush work on the roadsides, and you know, our, you know, revamping our, you know, dirt roads after a tough winter. Up in the Costume area, there's a Mill Road. It's had some pretty significant bank erosion. The Washington County has a grant to do that, and we're able to do our matching part with labor and equipment, so that should be doing that this summer. We'll talk more about the Hudson, Recycle Park playground, ordering that equipment and swings and getting that in the spring. And then, we do have a grant in for the, New York Ford, and we're gonna try to get a pavilion, out behind the building. And, as part of it, and also, a walkway to link Bleecker Street to the parking lot over to the library. Next. Things that are going on in the town that, again, they're not ours, but we're trying to support them. Citizens Committee for Greenwich Youth, that's a 501c that runs the youth center. They really want to get all the people who deal with our youth in one room and, coordinate things. We have, I'll take Halloween as an example. We got the Elks have one in town doing something on one afternoon, maybe and then the Y does something the next day, and the Halloween parade's a different day. All those things should be really better coordinated. One small example of a lot of things. I touched on the seniors. We want to take care of that segment of our population. Local Development Corporation is a Washington County sponsored agency, but it's independent. Brought the director down to meet with the Greenwich Chamber of Commerce. They provide grants or loans for startup businesses. And I didn't know anything about that. And I thought I was rather tuned into the community, and the chamber didn't know about it, and they're really tuned in. So we're going to get them down here at the next chamber meeting and talk to our people about getting some new business started. So excited about that. Long term, we touched briefly earlier about heavy duty crew pickup truck. These are the priorities that the superintendent would like, highway superintendent would like for his department. And that leads us to like multi-year budget. How do we do that? We've been talking about it informally, but I'd like to maybe formalize the process a little better. What can our residents do? We know we're doing our part, but we need their feedback and we need to give them information. So public meetings, you can attend those. We're going to get them out on YouTube. You can volunteer for boards, committees, or other opportunities as they come up. And these are the different places we're going to put the information out. Our website, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And because you can get on YouTube as an owner of an account, and you can see that it starts from November 10th through February 7th. Flatline, and then I didn't happen, snow happened. Each of those little bumps, and guess which was the bigger storm? Every time we put something on Facebook or Instagram, people respond to that. They're looking at us. It's up 55%, from our views and stuff. Anyway, people, if we give them the information, I think they'll respond to it. So we'll keep going to that, and we'll look for your feedback on that.
On that front, we'd like to recognize Sydney for getting the meeting into the paper.
Yes. For me, I don't wear the uniform anymore, but this is on the entrance ramp to the Air Force Academy. This is the Air Force core values. I like these. It speaks to me. Integrity first, service before self, excellence in all we do. And that's just not me, but that's a lot of Greenwich. And I appreciate that. But I'm feeling good. Like my granddaughter here, I'm looking forward to this warmer weather. But we gotta plan, we gotta be prepared. And you can see she's prepared for it all up there. So
Work on,
yeah. And this is my assistant supervisor. She's here in the afternoon, but feel free to drop by, as citizens, because we look for that feedback. We welcome your feedback. And thank you for listening, and we'll go for it.
Thank you.
well, nice job.
Thank you. Oh, back to me again. Oh, no, comments from the public.
I just wanted to say, that I think you guys are doing a great job. I mean, I know it's only February.
Mhm.
Must have missed the January meeting, but I mean, just from what I've seen, I really like the way things are laid out. You guys have been doing a great job. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
The questions I had with the.
Seven 74 still, and I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. With the plows, like, we're split in half, would it, like,
I haven't seen that
I
yet.
don't know, yeah.
yeah.
I need to go out and take a look.
Yeah, I was just curious, I mean, with response to storms, I mean, it's hard to, you guys don't really know, Stanley's not here, but, like, my question is, I noticed the snow's getting off the road, but are they going back out like the next day or so after? Like, they get that hard pack, because everyone's been driving on it forever before it gets plowed. And the snow will get off, but you still got the hard pack where the tires are packing it down, obviously. And then by the next afternoon, it's kind of slushed up a little bit, if you want to call it that. Like, yeah, but are they going back out and clearing
It's
that little bit
supposed to
of?
be slushing the roads, although,
Because I haven't
but I can't tell you.
seen
they
it,
have.
but I'm not accusing them of not doing it, but I'm just
We can
curious,
follow.
because I worked quite a few days after the last little bit of snow, and most of the roads in Bald Mountain are,
Have that hard pack.
yeah. And it'll break up come afternoon. Oh, yeah, no,
It's not,
no, yeah.
Is that the plow?
the well points are at the.
You know, my guess, and I'm not, you probably know more than me though, because I've noticed that too, and I think it has a lot to do with that sub-zero weather. The
Oh, yeah.
stuff is just packing down. It's not.
Right, well, on the roads,
The main roads aren't, like usually the heavier travel roads will, the snow will.
I don't notice that. I don't think that's just you outside.
a lot more in their forecast.
6.5, 7.
We had 7
Give or
inches.
take, yeah. But I guess my only point is, it's been so cold and it has nothing, it's packing down.
Yeah.
And the majority of the snow's getting off the road. Salt and sand, but that next afternoon, when the traffic does hit that hard stuff, it does kind of gum up a little
Yeah.
bit. And then at night, when it drops super cold, it's freezing again. But if we went out in the afternoon and just even if it was just a little bit at a time, get us back down to
Just get it to the
pavement.
road for.
We can,
Right.
follow. Handle that.
But, I mean, other than that, the other question I had, and this is completely kind of irrelevant, but who fills the boiler on weekends?
Joe usually.
Joe, okay.
Yeah, he gets paid like an hour of overtime to go.
No, I
Yeah.
don't, that doesn't bother me.
Sometimes
It's
if
just
he's
like-
not, then somebody else,
No, it's like,
somebody else will fill, but it's usually Joe.
You looking for something else to do, Zach?
no, I have a boiler of my own, and that's the
Yeah.
other thing,
But you
it's
know
3 times a day, it's a lot.
When it gets to these below
Oh,
zeros,
it's brutal.
my dad was having to do midnight and then 6 AM.
Yeah, I usually 2 AM up at 5 and top it off before you go to work.
Anything, anything else? Okay. We got important dates, Freedom Day is Wednesday, May 27, 2026. And another important date, is this coming Friday through Monday. DMV is closing statewide. I mean, Deb, you remember the hours? Is it like noon on Friday?
It's like 2 o'clock, I think, because I went to GMB today and I saw that.
I do this right on.
All right, yeah, check the website for dates and times, because if you need something done, and it's a new conversion to a new system. So, you got a couple days this week, I would recommend you do that, because,
2
there's,
o'clock.
and, they think it's gonna be up Tuesday, but again, Wednesday. So plan accordingly. Again, get the word out. Thank you. Unfinished business. We've been talking about the bond anticipation notice, the ban for the heat pumps, and a ban renewal.
So the ban for the heat pumps, the total is $95,798.03, and it's 3.95% interest, with Aerobank National Association.
Okay, so I'm gonna need a motion for, actually, is that a roll call vote?
Yes.
So could you do that, please?
Let's roll call.
First, you first and second, so.
Aye.
No, you
We
need
need a
first and
motion.
second.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, sorry. Motion, please, sorry.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Pat,
I'll second.
second by Tom.
Okay. Supervisor Mundy,
Aye.
Councilman Donahue.
Aye.
Councilman Gray,
Aye.
Councilman Anderson,
Aye.
Councilwoman Carter. Right, and the ban renewal is for the grader, and we made a payment, one of the bills is 43,000 and change, so the remaining amount is 83,861 and 60 cents. And that interest rate is 3.95% also from Arrow Bank National Association.
Motion,
I'll make the motion.
motion by Pat, second. By Reed, discussion. On favor, roll call again.
Supervisor Mundy,
Aye.
Councilman Donahue.
Aye.
Councilman Graves.
Aye.
Councilman Anderson.
Aye.
Councilperson Carter.
James every time.
Are you gonna be able to go to Arrow tomorrow?
No, next.
You
Uh,
need to go there. I have all the forms and then I just drop them off.
okay, just wanna make sure, cause I gotta fill in the dates.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll just put up, you can log tomorrow. Okay. I'll do it. New business. Our very astute planning board clerk and zoning board clerk, who is the same person, figured out that we need to actually name the boards officially. And the most exact name that pleased the state was, of course, the longest one. So the village last night approved the name of the joint planning board for the town and village of Greenwich and the joint zoning board of appeals for the town and village of Greenwich. So I need a motion here in a second, so we
I'll
can,
make the motion.
motion by Pat, second by,
I'll second.
second by Nicole, discussion. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
We'll tell Aaron that he can go forth and name the boards. We usually do this all at one time later in the year, but since I've been to newly elected training courses and they encourage us to do what's known as a agreement for the expenditure of highway monies. It's an agreement between the town superintendent and the town of Greenwich, Washington County, New York, and the undersigned members of the town board. Provisions of the pursuant to the provisions of section 284 of the highway law, we agree with the money levied and collected in the town for the repair and improvement of highways and to receive from the state for state aid for the repair and improvement of the highway shall be expended as follows. General repairs, the sum of 239,000 shall be set aside to be expended for primary work and general repairs on 76.8 miles of town highways, including slices, culverts, and bridges, having a span of less than 5 feet, and boardwalks or renewals thereof. Permanent improvements, the following sum of money shall be set aside to be expended for the permanent improvement of the town highways. 80,000 from the 2026 adopted budget, CHIPS funding from New York State to be determined in May of 2026, and specific road repairs to be determined. So I have a motion to approve this.
Move that we approve the 284 highway form.
Motion by Tom, second by Reed.
You can sign it now if you want.
Okay,
Send
no,
it around.
no roll call?
No.
Okay. All right, all in favor, did I say that out loud?
Aye.
All in favor, thank you. Dog control is next, and there was two items. Shannon is concerned with. One was that we, in our agreement with Parks and Recreation, agreed to do 10 days before any action was taken with the animal. She's like, are you really want to do that? Because nobody else in the county, I guess, they're doing 3. We talked about it. We said, say you go on vacation to Mexico. You remember your passport, you get to go. So, and you lose your dog somehow. You want to make sure your dog is still alive when you come back. So that was her concern. I mean, is there any,
She was recommending how long?
3?
3 days as opposed to 10 days.
Yeah,
The original contract we had was 3 days and then, we extended it to 10.
That's where they can give it up to adoption or euthanize it.
right. And the fact of the matter is, rarely, if ever, the dog is euthanized. I mean, they're always adopted out.
Well, the other question I would have, how many dogs were picked up in the town of Greenwich last year that were subject to the 3, 5, or 10-day rule?
It might be 0.
So,
Yeah. It came in, she was concerned the other day because there was a dog that had gotten picked up that she thought was dumped. And was concerned that the town was going to have to pay $400, $40 a day, $400 for the dog. It ended up not happening that way, so it's not an issue, but that was what her concern was, because there's also vet fees included, neutering, vet fees, all of that stuff, if the dog is adopted out. So it is,
So can we change it with just a motion or?
No, I'm just, is there any
Oh,
concern about changing it? Okay. Next part is the new law also talks about how much can I, this is Shannon saying, how much can I spend as a dog control for vet care before needing to call a supervisor for approval in an emergency? The town is responsible for minimal comfort measures under the law. The question will come up at my next inspection with Ag and Markets. In Kingsbury, it's $300, and there is a document filed with the emergency clinic at exit 17. This is something any town could do, I believe. Some figures should be in place regardless of the new form for emergencies, but this new law really brings it to light. So, I mean, do we just authorize $300 for, she can go without coming back to us to do anything else, or lesser number, higher number?
is there not agreement with Parks and Rec about
I think she's talking about if she can't, this is.
if she can't
This is
bring
like,
it there?
yeah,
Yeah, emergency.
this is, that's, not Parks and Rec, but the 24-hour clinic at exit 17.
Yeah, she says it was shared with the DCO, is now responsible for filling out and signing a health assessment for dogs picked up after hours when no kennel staff is available. But I think didn't bring a copy of it. I thought Parks and Rec is available for 24 hours. That was the deal, and that's what you guys pay them, that stipend ahead of time is for availability, so.
Look at the agreement.
Motion to table this any further.
I'll make the motion to table it.
The other thing I would wanna see is if you guys are gonna authorize that, is there should be some parameters put on what she could authorize to be done. Yeah, the general assessment and safety and well-being, I mean. Just to keep the cost down for the town. Not that I'd be concerned that Shannon would do anything inappropriate, but.
All right, there's no discussion on tabling. So, all in favor?
Yes.
Next up was transportation. Kingsbury has offered to put reciprocal agreements in place with my other towns. They have a dedicated DCO van. Well, I think everybody has this in front of them, but I'll read it anyway for the record. You don't have it?
No.
All
It's
right.
in your dog reports. Dog
It's okay.
report.
All right, Kingsbury has offered to put a reciprocal agreement in place with the other towns. They have a dedicated DCO van. There's all the equipment required and then some extras as well. I should be picking up the van in the next week or so. Instead of paying me miles, I would track the miles for each trip, and the town would pay the town of Kingsbury. Todd, and I'm not sure who
So
Todd.
instead of paying for other money.
Yeah. Todd told me the van is not in great shape for the winter, and that's why she's using her truck right now. The van would be nice to have for most of the time for all the dogs. So I think we need I asked her to give me some details from Kingsbury, what their agreement's gonna be like, because I mean, that's the devil's in the details right there, Counselor. So, that's something else we can also table until, we'll put that as part of all
This
this.
is the rate to town, Kingsbury is saying is the rate for.
Yeah, and it should probably have liability of like if it's their truck or their van. Not that I'm the attorney here, but Dave was gonna say.
You're right on there. Yeah, you've got
Plenty
it.
well known.
And if Kingsbury owns it, you know, you'd have to have them named as an additional insured. So all those items are, tabled on the document.
She's taking her horse.
It's just.
Did he come back on?
Yes.
Okay, great. Mr. Graves.
So, as I've said before, I think we're at a point now with the renewable energy study group that we had where we would like to bring it forward to a workshop. Formalize, you know, present our findings and our suggestions, and then try and formalize a plan. I will say that last week, Berlin went to Adirondack Region Chamber of Commerce meeting that was attended by Kerry Warner, Jake Ashby, and Dan Stack. And a big part of the conversation was renewable energy. And in talking to Berlin, because they got wind of what we're doing, and basically they said, we are spot on, because right now the only way to protect municipalities is to have a strong law on the books. Because that's exactly what we said. That's what the big corporations are looking for, the low hanging fruit. Like, we can go in here and steamroll through here and get what we want, because the response is anytime groups have petitioned, and I think one example is COPAC, you say that, but where the town board did not approve or were not in favor of the renewable energy. And don't quote me on the but another municipality, and the reasons given were strictly follow town law. So that's what they're saying. Hey, we followed your laws, and so it doesn't matter if you don't like it or not. This is what we followed your laws. We followed your planning. That was their thing. It wasn't like, oh, hey, you know. So that was very encouraging. It was across political lines. We're all saying the same thing. You know, you need Democrat, Republicans. You need to get your law solid, so you're comfortable with what you have out there. So that's what we're looking to do. So if we could come up with a date where we could have a workshop to discuss this and then keep this moving forward, because I think we have one more extension left on the correct.
Yeah, we're allowed.
Extension left on the moratorium. So sounds like a lot of time, 6 months, but we blew through 6 months just in discussion. So
Ask for the workshop is a board workshop or community workshop?
I think it would be a board workshop that would be open to the public. Wouldn't that be, Dave, wouldn't that be the next step we would need to do, is a board workshop open to the public? That we could discuss this in a.
Yeah, and then if you, whatever you come up with, the changes that you want, then that obviously has to go to public hearing.
Right.
And then to a vote.
We'll say a workshop because we'd all need to be involved. You know, there's more than 2 of us. And it's a group, it's an open meeting anyway, so.
Yeah, you
That's
just
what
can't make decisions on it.
Right, that's why I
Like a
figured
budget.
a workshop is better too, because then we're just focused on that item, and we're not necessarily. We can certainly take comments from that, but it's a workshop. Where we can hash out the details, and like I said, we can present what we found. I think you're gonna find it, the more we dig into it, the more we keep digging into, because you're like, it gets very interesting. And again, it's not anti-solar. It's pro Greenwich, pro residents, protecting ourselves, not necessarily from the evil corporation, but if it's going to be, it needs to be done correctly.
Okay, so are you proposing any dates or what?
No, I'm not proposing a date. I'm open to suggestions.
Read, you're out of the country for on break next week, right?
Yes.
I would ask though, even though I said, and I don't know the legalities, even though it is a workshop, Zach and John, who have been involved in the process, they should be.
Well, they're members of the
of the
subcommittee,
committee,
so.
So they should.
Do you kind of have a idea of the direction you would propose to go for that?
Okay, yeah, we've got, that's what I said, I wanted to suggest it till we get to that point.
Is there a week of the month that's better for people than others?
I don't think I'll go there.
The first week in the month, bro.
First week, every month,
Well, I mean, Monday, Tuesdays.
Which Monday?
What about the last week of February? Next week is break and then there's
25,
another week
26,
after.
24, I mean, I get back to 23rd, but
yes.
I'll be home the 20th, so 24. 25, 26.
Thursday, the 26th?
I can do that.
At 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock work, Reed, or you on 6:30? Can you 6?
Gives me a reason to
Will
leave.
you make 6 o'clock?
All right, let's set a renewable energies workshop for Thursday, the 26th at 6 p.m. Sure. Look up when you're done putting in your calendars and we'll move on.
Yeah.
Is that you want a motion? Oh, all right. I need a motion for that,
I
sorry.
move that we set the date for the renewable energy workshop for 26th at 6 o'clock.
Motion by Tom, second by Pat. Discussion. On favor? Aye. Thanks, Dick.
Yeah.
All right. Hudson Riverside Park Playground,
Good job.
you're up.
So it's gonna say option 2 and option 3 because option 1 was the playground that we looked at last year, which is no longer on sale, so it's now over the $50,000 budget. So the option 2 and option 3 are at the $50,000 budget. They're a little bit over, so the first option 2 is gonna be $50,793, and then the option 3 is $50,956. So we have a Canal grant of 25,000, and the town cost minus the whatever in-kind services from the highway, doing the stuff is going to plus whatever the amount overage is based on your choice.
And that includes installation.
Includes installation, it includes, what they call MF. Something.
Including the,
EWF. It includes, yeah, installation, it has, and I'll show you the different playgrounds, it's a storage level. Yes. It doesn't have, like at the Cottonkill Riverside Park, there's a plastic border that goes around. This doesn't have that. It's excavated down to 12 inches and then filled with the EWF, so it's more of a natural looking area. EWF is the wood pellets, or wood chips. It's just their fiber so that they don't get splinters.
gotcha.
Looks like the mulch, like they have it at the.
Correct, there's no step, it's slightly more handicap accessible, if there's, you know, easier to walk in, so anyways. I'm gonna go through the options, but option 2, it kind of gives you a rundown, so the age group for the option 2 is age 2 to 12. Again, reminder, we're trying to kind of cater to the younger group of children, because the Battenkill Riverside Park is high and is kind of meant for older kids, so we're hoping this will be a little bit more for the very young kids. This one has 7 play activities, and then option 3 is for age group 2 to 5, and then it has 11 play activities. So this is the option 2, and both of them will have the same type swing set, so it's gonna have 2 regular swings and then what they call a flex swing, which is for younger kids, and also it can be used for handicapped kids if they can't sit in the seat. This on the other, and the colors can be changed, but this color scheme's pretty good, so we might keep it that way, but that's what the flat swing looks like.
Is that one swing there that looks like a tire, is that considered like for infants? Is that what that's? for?
Infants can't sit, oh, I mean, I guess like, technically, I guess you could lay your baby on there if you wanted to, but it's not really meant for that, it's more for like,
2 to 12.
yeah.
2 to 12.
It's more, yeah, it's for like younger kids who can't necessarily hold on to the swing, or it can be for older kids too, it's not, you know.
Or else the vapors will sit.
That's the only thing I've heard. There's no swings in this village for infants.
Well, that's not true, because
fact-
we have 2 swings at the Vancouver side park that can put in.
Okay,
I mean, they're not like the ones that have the whole over thing, but it's the toddler
sorry.
seat and infants can sit in. I mean, I wouldn't put a tiny baby in there, but, you know.
And trust me, it's not like I heard this by 30 people. I've heard it from maybe one.
Yeah, but we've also heard that there is.
But I've heard it multiple times.
With disabilities.
Disability.
That's kind
That
of
I
where
have.
this swing came in, and that's why they call it a flex swing, is because it can be used by all kids,
Gotcha.
in theory.
And I mean, we could, you could change out one of those, normal swings for a,
This one's the 2 to 12.
This is 2 to 12. So the next one, the swing's gonna be the same, but, this one is 2 to 5. This one it says it has 11 play activities. It looks like it's the same height to me, so I don't really know what the discrepancy is with the ages, but
This one looks way more.
to me, I like this one,
Yeah,
but
it's a lot
That
more
was the
fun.
one we collectively liked, right?
No, these are
they're all
different.
different, but they're all very similar.
The 2 to 5, because wasn't it, we thought like,
It was
how many
very-
12-year-olds are we?
Yeah, it was very similar, to the one that I liked.
Read and I. We, whatever.
Our option got taken off the board.
Yeah, it's
We like the monkey bars, but.
but this one was way more fun than
It does, it's got 3 slides, it's got, not a lot of,
And if I were 12, I'd still play on it.
yeah. It's got those cool little steps, it's got the squiggly thing, it's got the thing I don't know what the thing on top is, but something fun. And it's got some swing, and whatever that little seat thing is,
That probably rocks or something.
something.
Yeah.
Alessia
Where you put the
likes,
bad kid, that's-
Alessia likes the microphone, she always wants to talk to me in the microphone. Anyway, so those are the 2 options, there are technically more, but these were what, he catered to our budget. It's through the Sourcewell contract, so it's free bid, so we don't have to go out to bid for it, so we can choose one now, if you would like. It's not up to me, I'm not on the board.
we don't know the lead time of this, really.
Yes, we do,
We do,
10 weeks.
10 weeks, so,
10 weeks installed.
10 weeks installed. So we have to have
You have a preference?
we have to have the tree taken out and the ground level before.
Let's- I didn't know I needed to justify my answer of the playground.
I would.
What speaks?
You don't like that?
Great.
It's
the
really
three
slot.
slides.
You don't like that one.
No, I do.
So why are you arguing with me?
Oh, you're-
meanwhile, back at the boardroom.
See,
that's the other one.
it is.
I don't like
I think
that.
the other
To
one
me,
before.
well, it's also the colors, so we
Yeah.
can keep those colors, or you can do more of, we talked about like a natural kind of color because of the other natural elements. So honestly, you can change any of the colors, and I was going to stick with this color scheme.
Avoid the highlighter
Yeah, because the one in
for the park.
the one in the Vancouver side park is very bright, blue, green, all of that. So this, we wanted a little bit more natural looking. So it would be this with the colors of the other one.
Then it might not be as fun.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Can you, remind us what's in the rec fund, how much money?
I think it's 19 something.
You must have a gym over here on this side.
Mhm. No, I can't. I think it's 19 something. I
I thought it was doing something. So anyway, we're gonna
Close to that, it's either 19 or 20.
approximately 20,000 rec fund, which is,
Well, there's two different, so there's a rec fund, which I believe is 19, and then there's the Battenkill Riverside Park Reserve Fund, and that I believe is 20.
we do have that much.
We have 20 in there and we have, yeah. I mean, I can double check the numbers, but we do,
That,
Battenkill Riverside Park.
So we have enough money.
Oh. Wrong part, don't listen to me. The rec fund is 19,000.
okay, just double.
We couldn't use any of the Hudson, the Batco River funds for the.
No, because they were allocated as a reserve for the beach, so
Yeah, it
it would
says
be complicated to move
Beach
it.
fund, so that's kind of,
But we have the rec fund and then we also have some, free money, we have some other stuff we can allocate for it, is what we talked about when we first went for the grant.
And it's a matching.
It's matching, so yeah, half.
No,
We're just deciding, you're deciding which playground to, I guess.
well, I like option.
I like option three.
We gotta vote
So
for
Reed's
it.
already out.
And it's a-
We don't even need to be here.
I was waiting for Reed. but-
That's fine.
Reed? Don't want to bother you. 2 or 3.
Oh, this is actually, it's from, Little Types brand. I didn't know they made.
Yeah, I thought that was just like those little yellow cars.
If they did the little card stuff. But
And so you can sleep tonight. EWF stands for Engineered Wood Fibers.
yes. When you make the, that's for the motion, it's that amount, whatever, this amount. Purchased from Great Lakes Recreation.
Yeah.
Reed, do you like option 2 or option 3?
Up for food, right?
3, okay.
So fun.
I was taking advantage of.
There's no one, but
All right,
We were talking town.
so we've all agreed on the majority, it seems, and discussion has agreed on option 3. So I'd like a motion to go with Great Lakes Recreation for option 3 in the amount of $50,956. Motion by Nicole,
I will second.
second by Pat. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Reed, you happy with that?
aye.
Yes. Comments from the public?
Wait, didn't we have a picnic table?
Oh, sorry. I did-
Yeah, you can put it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You wanna just run over that? Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I missed it in my notes.
Do you want me to pull up your?
Yeah, you have the invite the packet, I emailed.
Yeah, yeah, also.
While we're doing this, I did email Tim Nolan about dedication plaques. And then Reed had also suggested that we include Sarah Edelman. And so he would like to do that and Fort Miller and Sarah Edelman, if you can all connect to that. He would be pleased.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the Word document, right? Read.
Can you start with the PDF or the you can leave that one open, but yeah, the PDF first. First email I sent.
Okay.
So when Nicole and I looked at this, I looked just at the architect's drawings, and he had just dropped in kind of, I think, generic standard picnic tables to show spacing and size of people. Though that is a quite style, we went a little different. So what you see here is the darker gray is the footprint of the pavilion, 46 feet by 24. That could be with the post, so it might be a little small on the interior, but the lighter gray areas inside of it are 8-foot long picnic tables. They're generally 68 to 70 inches wide when you count the benches in. So spacing wise, leaving 3 feet between them to walking each direction. You could fit up to 10. Nicole and I both felt that, filling it is not an ideal use of space. I know when I've been at the Battenkill River Park and that pavilion, birthday parties or events, things are used in the open space bands or games, that filling it up entirely is not necessarily, I don't think, ideal. Just because you can't do it. So I showed what, what kind of space you'd have left over going with 8 or even 6. The ADA compliant tables where essentially you can use the ends. On the ADA compliance are the same footprint, but the frame is in farther so that a wheelchair could come in from the end and use it as well. So it still factors into this same kind of layout. So Nicole and I felt 8 or 6 was a more appropriate number to be looking at for under the pavilion.
What, 6 per table, so
8 seats
it would
per table.
be 48 people for 8.
8 people on these tables.
36.
I love the 6, especially starting out. You can always add. So, and I agree that you do need space for, presentations, bands, fun games, dancing, whatever. But we can always add to if we, that'd be a good problem to have if we see that. So.
Yeah,
When I looked at that, 6 just looked better.
48 people, so that's good.
But you could also have 2 people on each end.
So yeah, the end does make it, the ADA compliant ones do list it as 10.
Yes.
But if you didn't have a wheelchair, you need a chair or something to sit. But yeah, there is.
Unfortunately, when we talked about the ADA ones, it was, Jim was talking about a 10-foot top, so it would be 8-foot benches and then 2 feet extended off of the edge.
If you want to go to the Word document, we can say that.
Or any fire
Okay.
person that people can follow up.
Because we did it for a reason.
Does the pad have?
So Pat ADA compliant?
Yeah, there's a
So
page away from the parking lot
Parking lot.
up to the pad.
So you can see on that first image there, it's still at least from Barco Products, I did a lot of digging on these back in the spring. It was Treetop then, they're now Barco, same product. They were well reviewed, and some kind for like public space use, not just the home use one. You can see it's still the 8-foot tabletop there, but it does list 10, where if you scroll down the one right below it, it's the same model, but not ADA compliant. Essentially, the frame is just closer to the end, but otherwise it's identical.
Would we do all ADA compliant or have a couple? I mean, what's the?
The only difference was there's a little bit of a price difference.
And this is not a big price difference. When I was looking at it originally, from what I could find, because I think I was looking for 10-foot ADA ones, they were a lot more expensive. So this is only $50 difference.
Oh,
Yeah, so
yeah, but I was.
what I priced out, so it was doing 2 ADA and the remainder, whether it was 4 or 6 as standard, I guess. This Barco Products has kind of 3 different lines, being the Super Saver series is their least expensive with a 7-year warranty. Yeah, yeah, the Comfort series, which is their second highest price, is actually has a 20-year, and then their their most expensive total coat, which I think it's just the difference in whether the gauge of the frame and the coating that they're using, actually is less years of warranty. It's a 15-year on the total coat, which is their sort of highest end. So I did show the full price in there. So really we would want to look at columns E or F, the 8 units or the 6 units. That's only buying that one.
Where are they warranted? What's the warrant?
I'd have to read the fine print. One, because Global Industrial specified breakage. So I'd have to read the fine print. I don't know.
Not a lot of breakage. It's all solidly welded on.
I guess 9 years down the road, if it's a lot of water, it could crack.
Yeah.
So I also priced out, just for the board showing cost comparison, all the way down to a Home Depot 6-foot, which I really would not recommend doing. So because you can go to the Uline at least 8-foot for $100 more. And they don't make in that kind of A-frame style that was, yeah, they don't make a ADA one that I can find. Park Catalog does have a wooden top, it's still a metal frame. It works with that same type of style where the wheelchair rolls onto the ends. So there's a lot of different options there that I could change the recommendations, but Nicole and I were at least looking, I showed it with the least expensive Barco model, which I mean, maybe if I don't know the budget, if we could go up onto the next year's up, I could share what that cost would be. But if you go to the email there, Joanna has the price comparison doing 280A for standard, what we'd be looking at spending. So you can see here on this top one, that's we only want, if we're thinking 6, we look at the top box. The top is the Barco Super Saver or a Comfort Series for the ADA one. They're least expensive. You're going to be spending, it's like 5,700 roughly to do 6 tables, 2 ADA, 4 standard. If you were going with our to wood to save cost, you're down at 3,100. Okay, yeah. I personally strongly prefer the Barco products with the plastic coated metal.
Yes.
And if you're moving it up in quality or well price point, I guess, from like the Super Saver to the Comfort Series, or no, from this.
The picnic tables at Battenkill, are they ADA?
No,
Over 6 tables, each series you move up is about $1,500. So if you're buying, so if you want to go from Super Series to Comfort Series, it's about $1,500 more for 6 units. If you go to Total Coat, $1,500 on top of that to go to the very top one. I would have to look at the warranty to really tell you the difference, but
You said it's only $50 difference between the ADA and non-ADA.
Yes.
Why do you just go all ADA?
If you're looking at the Super Saver,
Because people sit at tables and
then they have the option to sit anywhere.
right.
Yeah.
at the Super Saver ones, they're $7.99 and then $8.49 for the wheelchair.
I agree.
So
Yeah, there you go.
And then scroll down, so then if you were to go to the Comfort Series, this is the one with the 20-year. I don't know why this has a longer guarantee. If the breakage of this one was sorry, then the Total Coat, but you're looking at $200 more per.
25 from $8.49.
It looks wider.
$250 more per table.
Like 55, 70.
Yeah.
It looks wider.
68.5 inches total width.
probably the gauge of the steel or something.
No.
Yeah, definitely heavier gauge of steel. And I'm not sure if the coating is different too, but that would.
So what are we deciding?
And it's between, at this point, if you wanna do all ADA, the Super Saver.
Do we like 6?
Yes.
Yeah, Super Saver.
Also, what was our budget?
Well, that's,
Really,
we wanted
Right,
to.
we don't.
That's kind of why I gave maybe too much information. I realized I gave you guys everything,
We
but
needed to find a starting point,
Yeah.
so we need to comb the budget to make sure that we have money there before we go any further, but.
do we feel like, I mean, do we like these metals now with the plastic coating?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
Yeah,
But I would say 6
I
ADA.
think it's long-term durability and hold off because you're gonna do better.
we'll investigate some funding options before we go any further, so, but this is exactly what we need to know. So now we got
Good job,
6,
Thank you, Nicole.
yeah, we'll go, and it was just mainly, I didn't need any resolution tonight other than with the, because I agree that less is more, give some space in there, but no 6 is good, and how good it is for the spacing and what we're looking for, you know, there's not really a big cost difference between ADA and non-ADA, so anyway, we'll crunch the numbers and look for some sources, and we do have people who have approached us in the past about making donations, you know, what the so we'll investigate that and we'll report back to the board.
I had one other item. My kids are in a 4-H group, and they've expressed an interest this year in a building project. So I want to look into benches possibly, right, like maybe setting in 2 that we could possibly set right into the ground. That would be at towards the fence line, appropriate spot. If that was the case, I'd try to look for the town on the materials and then the 4-H group and myself with my family if I need help to do the construction of them. And then possibly talking with Stan in terms of getting them installed. But, so I would need to work with the town on the material and getting that installed, but the 4-H group would do the building. It'd be a project for them. And I'd like to see them using that park in that building when it opens up for me. So I think it's a good starting point for a few things.
Very good, thank you, Cole. Comments from the public report? Yeah.
Picnic tables, are they the mesh tops? Do they have solid tops? Just thinking like if you're having a birthday party and you put a tablecloth on it, like one of the plastic flimsy ones, sometimes you set stuff down and it's right in the triangle of the mesh and stuff. I don't know, I just didn't know if.
I'm assuming they don't, because if it was flat, then you could get one that would pull on it and then it would rust.
I can understand that.
But
They should
Yeah, that was the only thing. I get why,
yeah,
being that it is undercover, I was like, if they had
I'm assuming they don't make metal ones like that. They might, the wood ones are more flat, but.
Anything else? All right, so the plan is I'm gonna go through what I think are action items and then we're gonna need some executive session to, how do we phrase what we're doing? Discuss the contract negotiations. So what I have, I owe the board a seniors report. I typed them up. I guess I forgot to hit send. We'll send that out to you guys. We'll talk to the highway department about following up on the snow and slush. We tabled, we need some more information about dog control, the van and reciprocal agreements. And we're looking at funding for the picnic tables. Is there anything else?
No.
Dave? Anything else, Tom?
No. I'm working on your action item.
Okay, thank you. So we're gonna go to an executive session. I don't. Do we anticipate any?
No, I don't anticipate a decision.
Okay, so we're just gonna have a discussion about this contract. We're not gonna make any motions to any decisions. So thank those other than board members. Thank you for coming. So I'm gonna have a motion for executive session by motion by Tom, second by Reed. All in favor? Aye.